getting around to it. Had a big rush on tyres today, so it's really quite exciting.
I thought you had to do something.
Oh, I know.
Good mind.
I've got to break out occasionally. Got to keep my eye on.
So they all came out of there?
Yep. These are what they call push drive rubbers.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, during gear change and riding down the road as the motorcycle is just under general operation, you can get a lot of almost sort of like a lot of tightening or like a lot of whip in the chain.
Yeah.
And it stops this from clunk, 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 and being transferred through here, which in turn can also cause the gearbox to wear prematurely. So what this does, it sits in there and it just softens it and makes the whole operation a lot smoother. Okay.
Okay, watch this picture here. Push them as wide as they go comfortably with a screwdriver, right? Is that all?
Just spread them wide enough there. Okay, now it's really important. This has to be attached to the swing arm. If you don't have this sitting there, the moment you apply the brake, the caliper's going to roll around. It's going to jam the wheel up, rip the brake cable out, and consequently you're going to have a whole lot of hardship.
You see the lug we're talking about?
Yeah, it's this lug down here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So the mount on your bracket is this slide here.
Yep.
So when this goes in, it's important that you get that to sit down in there. Some wheels are a little funny. It depends on how much room you've got to move as to at what point in time you'll actually put it in. Okay, so we get him sitting in there.
So that's the connection. There's no other.
That's what stops it from moving around.
I thought we would have a nut or something, but no, not so.
Yeah, got to make sure that none of your spaces fall out of your wheel. So that little fella, he's sitting down in there, like that. That one there. He's just ever so slightly catching there, so just got to move him up in there. Slide that up in there. Roll the chain on. Move that up there.
Spacer on this side.
Wiggle that around there until you find the right bit. Okay, get that lined up there.
Yeah, well, on this side there's a spacer. You have to see that it is there. See that spacer?
You're just pushing it into its spot
it's just catching just on the bottom side there.
Okay.
So
okay, up. Yep.
There we go. Just getting the fit down there. Get the old tapola.
They've come a long way of saying from the old line it up on each side and like a push bike, a spanner one way and a spanner the other way.
Okay. Now this is a really crucial time. Make sure that when you go and tighten this axle up, that when you're doing it up and you're pulling backwards to tighten it up, what can happen during that process is the wheel can twist. Okay, so it pulls it sort of back on because you're pulling back this way and it's going to make this twist.
Yep.
So what happens is this block moves away from the adjuster.
Yep.
And you can see daylight in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, that means now you're going to tighten it up thinking everything's really good.
Yep.
What you have to do is to be sure that that's never going to happen. This is really simple. You can grab a piece of stick, rag, a tool, whatever you've got available, put that in there and roll that there like that. You've only got to roll it forward just that much. And what it's doing is it's pulling the wheel onto these adjusters.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter how tight you want to pull on this here, it will not twist that wheel.
And it won't damage the chain.
No.
But with the power
you can put a bit of rag in there, whatever you want. You've only got to pull it around, like you place it there, just twist it back like that. That's all you're doing, because it pulls that wheel forward. Because if you don't, like you see how that's all sloppy there?
Yeah.
And if I go and tighten it up, it can twist it and cause it to, you know, twist, and then you've got a gap in here. Then consequently you think, yeah, it's all good, you're riding down the road, you probably think, geez, my bike's crabbing a bit, and probably before you know it, you'll throw the chain.
Throw the chain.
And that's all bad. So, okay, so purely put that in there, just pull it back so there's some tension on it, pulling everything forward. Time to tighten him up. You can't go wrong. There's just no way it'll twist back when you're doing that.
And to do the chain adjustment, you simply reverse that. Remember this. Change this fella down here. Measure.
Yep.
Tighten her up again.
Yeah, if I was doing a chain adjustment, and technically speaking, the person who rides the bike should be sitting on it to adjust the chain, because this motorcycle's got a lot of suspension, it's got a lot of travel, and depending where you're out riding, so you could be out there squirting down gravel tracks and punting over, you know, woo boys through the bush and doing a general thing. As the suspension compresses, the chain will pull tighter, so you should always adjust it. Now, I would normally adjust my chain so that it doesn't quite hit the bottom of that swing arm. Yep. So where it's at, when you're sitting on it, when you sit on the chain, it'll probably drop down to like about that, which will be pretty good. So I think the chain adjustment is fine. If it's got too much slap and too much play in it, like you'll be riding and you'll get like a lot of slap and lash going on with it, you'll hear it under there and it'll be clacking around and you'll hear it hitting the bottom of your chain slider and the swing arm. Purely a matter of undo this guy here. Just undo it enough, because all you've got to do, this looks like a little 12 miller, undo that lock nut there.
Yep.
Okay, and a little guy on there, maybe a 10 miller, and all you want to do is maybe do one turn backwards.
One half turn, like.
Yeah, just give it a turn, because when you turn it, watch this chain, because you'll see the chain start to pull up, take up some tension. So if you do like half a turn there, do about half a turn on the other side. It's not the sort of thing that you've got to be that anal that you go, oh, it's moved 3 1/4 mil and it's got to be 3 1/4 mil on the other side. We don't have time to do that. Generally, you'll find on here you're going to have
little marks here.
Yeah, that's right. Generally, you do. You can also, you know, maybe use like a measuring stick or something if you've got, some people might have like a little fine ruler or something, so you can go, okay, from this point here to that point there, measure it and go, okay, look, that's 15 or 17 mils from there back, so you measure the other one about the same. Now, if you ever get stuck and you go, look, I've got no point of adjustment at all, it's really simple with these. You can see on the back here where your chain is. Now you can see the teeth. Yeah. On your sprocket sitting through there. What you do is you roll your wheel around, and if you're looking at it and you can see that the chain is sort of running on a bit of an angle, so if it's running inwards, these teeth will be running hard against the outside edge. Yep. So it means, okay, it's out of alignment. So all you do is loosen off the other side just a little bit, leave one side here, loosen the other side to bring that wheel back straight, and if it looks like it's running nice and neatly through the middle, perfect.
And Dave, back here in that hole, there's a whole lot of vertical marks. Yep. You don't bother much using those.
No, work off those.
I suppose that's the same as this thing.
Yeah, it is, you know.
What you'll put back together then now is the bike's ready to go again.
Ready to rock and roll.